this one, I actually have under contract right now. This just came in this week or last week, I can't remember, but it's out of 18 acres, mobile home, 3-2, 1,500 square feet. Grandma died and left everybody inside the house responsible to make payments on her mortgage. The problem is that with 3 individuals collectively inside, they make a total of $42,000 a year. Yeah, they can't even cover the mortgage. They're 5 months behind, and they're trying to figure out what to do and what's gonna make sense. This video is a little longer, but I feel pretty good about it, even though we haven't closed on it yet. So we'll show you guys what it looks like.
Cool. If you guys hear addresses, I just want you to do earmuffs, okay?
I don't think there should be anything in there. We should have bleeped it.
Hey, how's it going? Lewis with Simple Cell.
How's it going, Lewis?
Good. Your mom, I guess, had filled out a form on our website.
What do you want to know?
Well, what's going on with it?
We just got a summons today for foreclosure, and then what we were really wanting to do was just try to sell the property so that way we could pay the past due balance of the mortgage and then put the rest in her estate.
Do you know what the past due balance is right now?
What I see on this paper is a little over $250,000 and then plus attorney's fees. This was the paper that I got from the lawyers at the bank hire. The tax balance is $10,000 and some change on a $250,000 mortgage.
We have a loss mitigation firm that we work with that might be able to help us with how to combat those fees and keep them as low as possible. But right now, it sounds like you probably have about a $260,000 balance.
Yeah, I'd say that, or probably a little more. I don't know what the actual fees are and stuff, so.
Yeah, usually they try and display those things. That's why I think it's probably in the 10K. They probably included it in there, or, you know, we could find out what those fees are. Do you guys have a game plan for what's next?
Not really, besides, you know, if we can just get this paid and get this zero, some kind of zero.
Right.
We were just wanting to try, you know, we can find a place to rent or, you know, stuff like that.
So you really just want to try and get this foreclosure taken care of and get some money for a rental property?
Yeah, whenever I found this letter, I talked to them, I even asked, I said, well, I'm willing to pay the past due balance. I said, but I need time. I said, I'm trying to sell my property so that way I had money to pay for this stuff. And I told him, I said, with all the old crap that has to go through, I said, it's taking months. I said, you know, I said, this just happened, and at that point it was only 6 months old, and I just got a lawyer, stuff like that. So I said, I just need probably about 2-3 months. I said, now I'll even pay, you know, the past due balance of that. I said, I'll even make a payment now. They told me, yeah, well, if you pay the past due balance in 6 months, we want the rest of it. I said, I can't promise you. There's no way I would be able to afford that.
It's because the mortgage is under her information and they don't want to allow you to just take that over because you technically wouldn't be responsible for it anymore. So they just want to be done with it and paid in full.
I said, but I need at least 3 months. And then sure enough, it was good.
Yeah, the banks are a pain in the ass like that. They just want to run up the fees as high as they can for as long as they can and then try and take it. We're limited with time because we want to try and take care of this for you guys sooner than later for 2 reasons. One, we don't want to get close to that auction date because the bank can really become a pain in the ass at that point. And then the second thing is the more time we take, the more fees that they're just going to try and tack on. So our best bet is to try and handle this as quickly as possible. What kind of time frame do you think you guys would need to get set up in another?
I would say at least probably 90 days.
Usually when we hear about the letters coming in, they usually give a 60-day notice after they respond. At this point, you typically have 90 days from this point for an auction to be set.
I mean, we could probably find something.
I have people that can help with that, finding a spot, but I just mean as far as you guys, as far as like getting things moved, would you need help with moving as well?
I mean, yeah, I would need it as well, yeah, or and at least maybe even put stuff in storage or something.
And then what do you think you guys would be looking for to make all that happen for you guys?
I know that just a little while ago when she had the appraisal done on the place, it was, and everything, it was at $420,000 or like $425. But we had a realtor out here and she was saying somewhere around $500.
I wouldn't trust the realtor. I would trust more so what your appraisers saying because they're the ones who are actually going to qualify.
I'm a realtor, so I can say
I'm a
that.
realtor too.
I can say that.
And this is what we used to do, but this is what most do. They just give you the highest price that they can, and then they put the property on market, they put you in a 6-month to a year contract, and then they just wait to see what kind of response the market gives you. So like, they'll wait 30 days and be like, hey, we didn't have any showings, we should drop the price. 30 days, hey, we didn't have any showings, we should drop the price. 30 days, hey, we had 2 showings, we only had 2, but we should drop the price again. And before you know it, you're down to 420, and then you're finally getting 5, 6, 10, 15 showings, and you're like, shit, I should have just been here. at this-
Yeah, well, and that's what I was thinking was, is that I think 400, if we could make out with 400, I think it would be more than sufficient to pay the bill and have something to get, started and, find a place to rent.
Well, here's the only thing with that. So I think if you guys were to go to market at 420, because this is what I would think, right? Like, we buy houses for 2 reasons. When we buy a house, we're buying a house because it's either like brand new and I can have a renter inside of there and I can start making money on the rental, or 2, we're buying it, fixing it up like to HGTV 2025 standard, and then we're reselling it. So when we're trying to resell it, we're looking to get that 420, 450 range because we're updating the bathroom, updating the kitchen, updating the flooring, new paint, everything like that. Which was the next thing that I was gonna start asking you was like, do you know how old the roof and the AC are? And if there's wood rot on the property, like on the outside of the property, because those are all things that are gonna stop a loan from being able to process.
The house itself is made of brick. The roof is pretty old. It hasn't been done in a long time. There are some plumbing issues, and it was like that when I got here. I said that it probably needs about $45,000 in repairs, like the house itself, like with the roof, plumbing, and then some other things.
If I cancel out all of those fees right now, I'm at $321,400. But there's nothing in here for the closing costs that I pay for you, helping you guys move, anything like that. I think like 295 would be a good number that would work for you. It'd be a way that I could basically make about 10%, and then you guys would take about $35,000 at closing. I can put a contract together with you rather quickly. We'll buy the house, we'll close on it, we'll give you guys the time that you need to get out of there. And then while we're closing the house, getting clear title, we'll reach out to the banks and everybody who we need to discuss and letting them know, hey, we're gonna close on the house, you don't have to send it to auction, you don't have to keep terrorizing these people with letters and phone calls and debt collection and all that shit. We're gonna close on the house and they'll get paid, and then you guys will get your money at closing as well.
Yeah, I mean, that sounds fine with me.
Okay, give me just 2 seconds here. Let me just check with my underwriter. He's the one who's gonna write the check, so I just have to get approval from him. Would you be okay with just giving me 2 minutes?
Yeah.
I was able to get the approval. He did let me know that we're gonna need to do this in 60 days or less if you guys did get your letter today. Do you think that that would be something you guys would wanna do? He just thinks that it'd be in the best interest for you guys to make it as clean and simple as possible with the bank.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure we're gonna go ahead and do this, but, give me till tomorrow. Let me call my lawyer and let him know what's going on and see if he wants me to do anything. The check that we get from you guys is gonna have to go to her estate till she gets out of probate.
So here's how it would work, and actually having the contract will help us if we're still in probate. So the title company, they will handle all the transfer of money. So when we actually close on the property, we're gonna send our money into the title attorney's office, and then they will actually send the funds to wherever they're supposed to go, whether that be your probate attorney, the trust, the estate, whatever it is, or if by that time you guys are already finished with everything, they'll disperse it to you guys individually, however your trust is stated. I think you're the executory.
Yeah.
However you're supposed to handle it, they'll disperse based on what you tell them. So we could go ahead and at least put it together, and then we can present it to the mortgage company, we can present it to him, to go over with him. I mean, they go through these all the time, so.
Him as the attorney.
They'll be fine with it.
Okay, so are you gonna get with Mark and then let me know and then I go ahead and sign all this?
If I was you, I would just sign it off now, and we'll go ahead, we'll get with Mark, and we'll get with the mortgage company. We'll go through taking care of it for you guys.
I just wanna make sure that Mark has a heads up before I just sign any piece of paper,
He'll probably just want to let us know what they expect from the probate and when they expect everything to be able to close out. Really, he's gonna be handling the trust, the the whole probate. This is just one piece inside of it.
Okay.
Are we just waiting on approval from him?
I guess it is. I guess I am.
I mean, we could just get started on it now. That's the only thing I'm thinking is like, outside of handling the probate, I mean, I don't know what he's gonna approve on it. I mean, we can contact him. I have no problem reaching out. I just know what he's most likely going to say is just give us an update on where we're at with the probate and if there's a date set with the judge yet to approve everything.
I guess I'll go ahead and sign it so that way you guys can do what you need to.
So
But he actually said
Yeah.
yes.
I spent an hour and 35 minutes on the phone with that kid. And I think he told me no a minimum of 5 times that he wanted to speak to his attorney. And I think every time I just kept going, I have his number pulled up right now. Are you cool if I can 3-way him in? Like, I was so confident in what we were gonna do and how we were gonna help them. The probate attorney doesn't care. He just wants to make sure probate's done appropriately, right? Now, he did recommend that real estate agent to go out and offer $500,000. I am a real estate agent, and I can say that as realtors, we sometimes tend to throw properties on market and see what the outcome's gonna be, right? Especially when you're looking for a deal or you're looking for a listing, it tends to happen. So she's not wrong. That house is probably worth about that. But I mean, it's really just about solving his problem, right? He needed a place to go. He needed to know how he was gonna do it, and he wanted $10,000 for each person who was inside of the home. So for him, it just made sense.
That's awesome. Guys, give it up for Lewis one more time on that one. Can I see a show of hands of who wants Lewis to do live calls tonight? Okay. All right. So hopefully if we're nice to Lewis and he's nice to us, we'll get him to do some calls here in a little bit. We do live calls all the time. We run Zoom calls, weekly masterminds and stuff like that, where we're just doing live calls in front of groups of people, right? Sometimes it fails horribly because people are not picking up or they're hanging up quick. Sometimes it's wonderful and we're getting agreements right there in front of a group of people, which is amazing. This is called the shortcut to wholesaling. So I'm sure you guys are like, where's the fucking shortcut, right? Sorry. There's a young man here, guys.
Yeah.
So what's the shortcut, right? Now, sometimes things are hidden in plain sight, right? And you guys might not think the shortcut is a big deal, and I think it's an immense deal. I think it's a huge mindset shift, right? One more time. This is probably third time. Who here hasn't wholesaled yet? One more time, please. Okay. Probably going to pick on one of you guys in just a second, okay? So to me, what has been my big mindset shift these past 1 to 2 years is that if you're a wholesaler and you think you're not the buyer, you have already lost.
Yeah.
If you're the wholesaler and you have not wholesaled the deal and you think that you can't buy that deal, you have already lost. Sellers are going to smell that, sniff that from a mile away. They're going to see how inexperienced you are. So what you have to do is you have to take a step back and then realize that you can buy these properties. I'm going to talk to you about exactly how you can buy these properties, right? So my gentleman over here, who was one of the first brave ones to pick up the microphone, Gesco. Can I get this?
It's on.
It's on this time?
Yeah.
Okay, can we keep it on? My man. So we come across a seller lead, right? Seller wants to sell it for $1 million. You say, hey, Dom, I got this lead. He wants to sell. He'll sign right now. I look at it. I'm like, we can fix it up and sell it for $2 million, right? You'd probably lock that up under contract, right? Would you lock that up under contract maybe if you didn't call me and you didn't get that approval? Possible. What would you do? How would you take it down? What would your next step be?
I want full detail of the property. I want to know what I'm walking into and what I need the customer to walk away with me to feel confident.
Okay, before you sign or after you sign?
Before I sign.
Okay, now thank you, I appreciate it. Give it up for Gesco one more time, guys. Come on. Gotta do a lot of clapping, a lot of interaction. That's just the way I am, okay? So what you want to be careful with, if you have a deal that you know is a deal, you don't want to create your own roadblocks. The sellers have enough roadblocks. There's enough objections. Don't add objections. Action is super important. And if you have that high level of confidence, it's time to execute. That's the difference between the sale and the close. Lewis didn't want to give up on that last call. The guy said no several times, and he just found ways to kind of agree with him and blend it back into asking again, right? So I think two huge things, if you don't take anything else away from this here tonight, two huge things, enormous things are, in this market, you should be having really long phone calls with sellers, and you should be building trust. The simplest
Absolutely.
thing that you think that wouldn't be a big deal, we found out to be one of the biggest deals that we could have ever discovered. Long
Yeah.
phone calls. If you
Yep.
have long phone calls, you're creating a relationship.
Yep.
That's number one.
Well, and to even touch on that, like how many people, if you have wholesaled a house, feel that you have to go out to the house to see it and put hands on it and make sure everything is the way it should be.
Yeah.
I used to do that, but I mean, when we're buying a house in Missouri, I have no idea how I'm going to do that here from Jacksonville or Portland, Oregon, or Corpus Christi, Texas. It's just not going to be possible, right? Now, guys are going to those houses. They are having conversations with the sellers, and they're running out the door, right? Most of the time when I talk to individuals who are looking to wholesale, they're like, hey, I emailed my contract over, and I haven't called them in 3 days. You think they're gonna sign? Why? Why would they sign, right? Like, I'm having an hour-long conversation with them. I understand everything that's going on in their life. I virtually understand how their house looks. Most of the time, I only get to see it on Google Maps, right? I only get to see the outside of the house. And then I'm able to put a number together that I'm confident in, that they're happy with. Then we put that contract together, then we start sending people out there.
Yep.
You know?
So long phone calls is enormous. The simplest thing that I can say that's super important, building that relationship.
Yeah.
You can build a relationship in 20 minutes, but if you do it in 40, 60 minutes, with these type of seller leads, these people that need help, it's gonna mean a ton.
Yeah.
And the second thing is just ask for the close and try not to give up. Be more creative on ways that you ask. Just like Lewis's last phone call. Yes, sir.